Boys and girls, man and woman, the big Q&A has ended. It was an hour of questions to the developers about EVE Echoes, about the future, what to come and what they will change and more. Now I've done all the stuff that nobody wants. I've gone through all the big Q&A with all its questions and all the answers, and I put them together so it's easy to follow. Now if you followed the AMA on the Discord, you will understand what a mishmash of questions and answers there were. Every time there were an answer, you had to click on that question to go back to read it, and after that you had to navigate back to the next question and keep doing this. So I felt, well, how on earth are we going to get the whole picture of this AMA? So sit back, relax while I go through all the questions and the answers that we got, and I will expand on them if I feel it's needed. I've not added the questions that never got an answer, cause then we would have been here the whole night, and it's also not fun to hear anyway. This is going to be a long video, and I'm still recovering, so I hope that my voice is okay. This is going to be a long video, so let's get into it. Rocket3438. He had a question. How will you guys help industry in 2023? We will try to optimize insurance and logistics to promote better circulations of industrial products. There will also be more valuable industrial products. Now this seems good in my book, but question is what they refer to as better circulation? We don't know. Len and Vanillas ask a couple of questions. First one, regarding tradable purple nanocore. Is the feature unlocked for all nanocores or limited to a specific type of nanocores? Their answer is some old and some new types. There will be a gradual opening process for tradable purple nanocores, and the relevant details are still being worked out. It is not limited to new nanocores. And I feel that this is exciting. The second question they have is, have the Janjang content, the new ships, event, etc. been planned out for 2023? And the answer is yes, early 2023. So I would say before April. And the third question is, are there any plans to implement strategic cruisers, Amar Legion, Kalari Tengu, Galente Proteus, and Minmatar Loki? The answer is not now. We will release more special edition ships first, not tier 3 cruisers. There are also new easily discoverable anomalies. What's more, we will add some new enemies, new challenges, and new rewards to the old anoms. Like not now is a good answer right there. We will get the strategic cruisers in the future. And some people might say that it's not guaranteed. But I must say that not now is a weird way to answer that question unless you got that in mind. There was also a forward question here. Question 1. Will we be getting Titans possibly in the first half year or the second? Or not at all in this new year? The answer here is Titans is expected to meet with you on the occasion of the anniversary. So it's actually quite early. I did not expect that. The question 2, is there any plans to bring in new users, like removing the skill tier system and so on? The answer is, it is expected that in March or April, we will update new content and improvements for new players, corporations, and buildings. For example, you can insert ships that can learn battleship skills without the tech level. Yep, they are attached to the tech tree. But bringing AUR chips to bypass the threshold, isn't that just fixing one solution but keeping the rest? I guess it's an okay thing for alphas, but I have to ask, what to do with the battleship if you can't unlock the T10 missions? And anyhow, making it so that alphas can buy a ship to fly battleship to make ISK for their Omega is a pretty cool idea. And Bubo Capensis asks, is there any plans to make mining more active and engaging? The answer is a little plan. Okay, like what can I say? Nothing, I assume. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. They have a little plan. The second question Bubo has is, are there any plans to make exploration more engaging? And the answer is not for now. Right in your face. The third question is, could you make different mid-slot modules use different types of fuels? That would make all fuel more valuable, and not just plasmoids. The answer is, it won't be different for modules. So yeah, keep harvesting plasmoids, boys. That's gonna be both cheap and plentiful. The fourth question is, could you consider, as a part of the future developer plan, making things like data cores, salvage materials, and by extension, more valuable. For example, increasing the amount of salvage material needed to buy rigs. The answer here is there will be a lot of new rigs and modules which need more material. The only issue with this statement here is, like for me personally, is that we always get this change. And it's never a good situation for materials. Materials and minerals have an issue that needs to be solved, and this does not sound like a solution, like Booba offered here. The fifth question he has is, would you consider adding things like an ISK cost to ore processing, reduce tax on rare specific modules, Captain Benzi and the Sheev's idea as a part of the future development plans? The answer here is mainly various materials, not ISK. Now, I have to say, what a king. Mentioning me, man, I feel blessed. But the answers are not as easy to understand though. But it seems they're talking about adding different or more materials, but no change regards to the ISK. But I have to say that they are missing the point. The point is to have reduced tax on the rare specific items so that we get a more diverse trading system. So if you want to save ISK, you can go to Galente Space and find cheaper blasters, for example. And developers Dear Yida will still have everything. It will just be more expensive in Yida. Now Badger Matsu has a question. Is it possible for manufacturing to require less ISK and more ore? Would this allow for better industrial gameplay and player retention? The answer is yes. And in this situation, it's a yes. Manufacturing will see less ISK and more materials for building stuff, and I like it. Darius asks, what about quality of life fixes? Station containers, or how about not warping with the station in tow? I don't actually know what the last one is. The answer is a new kind of station hangar, not a box. Oh, this is interesting. No, it's not. Let me explain what this sounds like. We will not get the station containers that we can build and use to store and sort our items. No. It sounds more like an AUR bag space. For real money, you can get a second and a third hangar. And all I can say is like, well, fix more stuff in the game. And player might later buy that. And please just don't release that as it looks right now, please. You know, I can deal with a messy hangar 2 more years rather than paying for one. Then we got Elandria. What's with the closed systems like Jove and Dronelands? The answer is there will be some new regions in 2023. And I broke this news earlier in my videos, but we don't know what region they will open, but I bet it's the Dronelands. But since those videos I did, I got a prediction now. I think the Dronelands might not be Dronelands. I think the Dronelands might be Jiangjiang. Because they talk a lot about Jiangjiang to be the focus in 2023, and opening a new region might just be that. You heard it here, space huggers. Too bad though, I really wanted the rogue drones. But then again, they also said new faction. Synonymous have a question. Are there any plans to add wormholes with anoms and sites with access only to certain ships, like the NDS? And the answer is yes. Sites with access to only certain ship classes. Anoms with restrictions, or wormholes with anoms with restrictions, or wormholes with restrictions. We just don't know, but it's a great answer right there. Sambridge asks, will you consider major market changes to promote the purchase and resale of the product at realistic markups and realistic hauling professions? The answer to that question is there will be new skills, some optimizations that will facilitate trading. And I say great. What else to say? Great. We need more skills to lower tax and being able to make market great again. And then we got Strix. My question is in regard to the blue and white nanocores that debuted with the most recent iteration of the Sunchaser event and is making the return with the Capcore variant in the current Neon Peak event. It is widely known in this community that the glaze mod this nanocores offers also comes with an effect that is not stated in the core's descriptions, namely the ability to completely ignore disruptions to activating the micro warp drive whilst being scrambled. And I just have to say thank you so much for bringing this up, Strix. It will be interesting to see what they say. The general consensus in the community is that this hidden feature of the nanocore is completely broken, and it should be removed, corrected immediately. To boot, a suggestion was made some time ago, and we gained 500 upvotes supporting this removal of the feature. When can we expect an official statement from the developers addressing this? The answer is There are currently no firm plans for bug fixes or balances adjustments to this core. Alright, I will block this guy from my friends list and I will remove the New Year's gift and I will cancel the dancing girls. And we got Elandria once more. When will we be able to rename our ships? Sweet, sweet Elandria. Don't you know this is almost impossible to code? The answer to this one is this feature affects many contents and requires extensively and comprehensively testing. It will be updated with a version when we think it can be updated. So I rest my case. Mighty Hero asks, what's your plan for players to have a better reason to go into sovereign war instead of due to boredom or someone run their mouth? The answer is more resources and ranks. And I just say ranks? That is interesting. Then we got Monk. Can we get a character transfer like there is in EVE Online? I got 2 characters on one account that I would love to play simultaneously. I think there's a lot of players that would be willing to pay for this service, and I agree. It would be. The answer is we are trying to do related content, but we are currently encountering many difficulties. Again, it is possible in the future. So very nice. Pay for convenience is always a good income. And Aussie77 say, will there be a proper rebalance of the implants and how they interact with their weapon types? Lasers are completely overpowered currently, while some weapon types have been left behind in terms of DPS. The answer is yes. At least 2 major balance changes each year are planned, in April and November. There will be some minor adjustments at other times, as long as this adjustment is very much needed. So good. I like it. Vixen KG. Will you update the icon for smart fabs or construction blocks to make it easier for industry builders? The answer is you can give Arrow your opinion on icons optimization at any time. So that's a funny answer. The second question is when will we get the green faction strip miners? And the answer is there will be a lot of new modules in 2023 and there may be advanced miners, drones and rigs. Holy truck! I need to call my mining buddy and tell him to come back. Another question is, will Orca nanocores be more accessible to purchase at any time? And they say, we will try to keep optimizing. Don't worry, there will be more boxes in the future. And Skinny Fits is asking, is there any plans to add passive ISK generation to mining, like there is in ratting? Something to bridge the gap. Ratting is almost 2 times more profitable. Your ISK is instantaneous and it can be doubled through commendations. The answer is mining will not get ISK because it's unreasonable. More new ores may be released as well as related tasks such as the acquisition task of the joint mining industry. And I can't help to think about ice mining and gas harvesting because that would be sick. Psylocke asks, when will exploration content improve? The answer is there are no firm, good and simple plans right now. It's basically dead. Bidaros, when will we see API for public informations like the market data? The answer to that one is it's a difficult process for API to grow from scratch. Currently we are considering kill mails and the market, but there are no confirmed update date. Well, I think it's not too bad. It's a start. I'm looking forward to that. Malevolent Discontent, he asks, when will we get the missing missile skills so that we can actually apply damage correctly without having to pay for a 15 billion ISK haul? And he's talking about the Barghest. The answer is, according to the plan, there may be new skills in the first half year. Galen asks, can you expand more on the optimization to insurance? The answer is we will send relevant news in advance to introduce these changes and collect your suggestions and feedback. You got feedback! You got news! And if you still don't get it, then PM me on Discord and I will send you all the numbers that will explain it all. Karzag is asking, will Dev rethink the range of the interdiction bubbles? 150 kilometers is an oversimplification of the game and makes it less challenging. The answer is maybe more skills, modules and rigs that improve interception range. But the bug that has a chance to be intercepted by thousands of kilometers will not be changed back to the bug status. And Starfall's question is, when will the purpose be available? Its stats are seen through in-game if you go to the shop, the skins, industrial ship skins. What's the deal with this faction frigates prototype? Will we be getting them in the game? Or are there little bits of code that were forgotten? Large decomposers, when will we get that? There are large composer skills but no large decomposers. This also extends to when will we get the Yanjang battleship? When will we get the bowhead? You added the Rockwall and the Orca, but where is the bowhead? There was a lot of questions in that, but here is the answer. At present, weapons such as missiles, drones and cannons do not have high DPM implants, and they will be gradually added in the future. Yeah, I'm not joking. That's the answer. I won't even bother. Now this one is a long question. Alar starts with fact. Since 14th of May 2022, NetEase have been provided a full array of evidence of a massive bot network that has damaged the economy by a total value of 1 trillion ISK. After months of in-game reports and being ignored, dismissed, since bot uses image recognition and therefore is not performing cycled timed action. He also states fact, it has been over 7 months and not a single ban has been issued to any of these bot network users. He also states fact, the damage are now 2.5 trillion ISK worth of botted minerals and continue to grow at 10 billion a day. He also said that total botted generated value this year of this network going visible is be the equivalent of 781,250,000 plex. And if you would pay for that, that would have been $34,000 and continue to grow on a daily basis. He also said that this is from a small organized network of bots, barely 70 to 80 daily pilots. There are many more out there that has the know-how how to disable the bot tracking. So the question to all that, has botting been made stealthily legal? Is this the future development of Eve-Echoes? The question 2 is, if question 1 is false, then how much more damage to the economy must the bot networks do before we see some reaction by NetEase? The answer is, it is expected that after the release of the update about new players in April, that low-level accounts will not be able to produce ISK at all, but will be replaced with credit. Like, what? How is this not making the game even harder to function if you ask me? What are the new players going to earn? Like oranges? Like, jokes aside, but really? Some in-game currency that can't be traded and only be used to buy stuff from NPC? Wouldn't this hurt the game more? You know, I need to think about this because clearly I don't see how this can be better. At least not yet. But they also say, by the way, are you an insider? How do you know that there is evidence? I don't even know. If I knew this, that gang would have been banned long time ago. Man, just ban them and send this to me, okay? Case solved. Shadow Shot has a question. Can you add the one-on-one friendly dual PvP again? This is a useful way to test chips and fits, and it's a lot of fun to fight your corp mates. The answer is this mode will return as an event first. We had the event. Do you need another? Septacore asks, when will we see the requirements that, for example, a war should give us? Currently the market does not react to any wars. It actually does. Sometimes one can see a requirement at the trade hub, but it's nothing related to what gets lost. If you hit the production button for a battleship, you make a minus and no profit at all. How can you improve this? And the answer is after insurance, industry and logistics updates. So we are gonna get some changes. I just really hope that they make it good this time. And then One Magic has a question. One Magic is a guy that almost every time joins my nanocore competition in Jida, so be sure to join that you too, guys. He asks, when are the Yanjang ships and modules going to be added? And please, can the prototype ship be added to the Scholar Points exchange store? The answer is the content of Yanjang will be arranged next year. We do think that we can consider adjusting the content of the Scholar Points, but it's not a priority. Man, we're never seeing that change. And Draxul asks, will you consider adding comma or decimal numbers? Formatting to ISK and material values to make it easier to interpret numbers in the millions and higher. Likewise, can you add the options for floating points value in the market? For example, titanium sales really need a place between the numbers 1.5, 2.5, etc. The answer is floating points and values in the market are not currently considered. Sabridge is asking, I find the center left side of the screen gets overridden by windows, and why can't we move our windows? Fix their position somewhere else. You know, like fleet window, chat, local screen, autopilot, tutorial icon, wallet and kill mail notification. And I think it's a good question. Like, why can't we move around everything so we can adjust it for the way we want it? And the answer is, it sounds like moving the fleet window is much simpler. Ah, jokes. Very funny. It does not help enough though, does it? That is. But funny. KKM asks, actually Barghest and Nestor were the most expensive and valuable battleship in the game. Also Mordus Legion and SOE were special factions in the game. However, their performance is not actually good now, so I think they need a buff. For the price. Is there a plan to make them better? Answer is, they're fine for now. They're just not very good at fighting head on and being gang beaten. In the future, it is possible to offer more variants. Pilots can upgrade existing ships. Upgrade, you say? I wonder what they mean by that. Is it a Barghest too? And Leo asks, currently drone pilots are left out on Dead Space reverse engineering as there are no C-type drones and also no C-type drone modules. Is there any future plans to add C-type drone modules or drones, for example drone damage amplifiers? The answer is C-type is possible. Possible? But is it likely? And the second question is, way back in the first Halloween event, players were able to find faction mid-slots like Haley's, target painters, and magnet warp disruption field generators. Is there any plans to bringing back or any way to obtain those in the future? The answer is maybe there will be available at another festival event in the future. So be prepared for that, boys and girls and wives and men. Phoenix Flamers say, is there any plans to make an EVE store like EVE Online has besides the new Eden store? That will give players of banned regions to some way of purchase. And the answer to that is, it has been discussed, but it's not conclusive. We need more research. In short, it is possible. Very nice. And Bubo Capensis again have a bunch of questions. The first question is, would you consider adding the overburden idea that Captain Benzi suggested as a part of the future development plan? The idea is that cargo ore hold fills up with a waste rock that has no value and must be jettisoned into space regularly. Really? That's a bad idea if you ask me. The answer is no. It depends on other updates, so thank you. And I had not heard about that idea before. The second question is, could you add a special mode to mining barges which allows manual targeting of asteroids, but with higher double capacitor use and much shorter range? That's an interesting thing. And the answer is maybe new modules. So yeah, it is interesting, and yeah, I'm all for that. You know, give us options. If we can target mine, but we have to do it actively, I can see that work. The third question is, would you consider adding new mining modules for the mid and low slots for venture and mining barges as part of your future development plan? And the answer is, like two, you know, like, oh yeah, two more. Nice, I like it. Number 4, would you consider adding a larger hauling ship or modifying the T6 hauler ships? Something bigger with more space than the fast transport. Wraith, Sigio, Nereus, Badger, but smaller with less carrying capacity than a freighter. The answer here is special ships. And I got an idea what that can be, and I'm gonna hold it, I'm not gonna say it. That will be my secret. And the next question is, are there any plans to make low security space a more lucrative space to live in? And I really hope they do, but the answer is no. So don't live there, period. Don't be there. Next one is, could you, as a part of the future development plan, improve Nila space? Maybe put hackable containers inside Nila space? Benzi's idea. And the answer is, if it is necessary. And I say, all right, sounds good. The next question is, could you please, as a part of the future development plan, allow the mining drones to be used on a venture and mining barges? The answer is no. Maybe new drones. So maybe nano drones. You know, for the venture you have itty bitty nano drones. That would be funny. And the next one is, would you consider comet mining as a new form of mining? The answer is a new type. And as always, I think it's ice mining or gas harvesting probably. But yeah, comet mining would be, you know, like a normal anomaly, but you warp there and it has the visuals of like a big ass asteroid that you can mine off. You know, that would be cool. And it's like it moves away, you know, so you only got a couple of hours to mine it. That would be cool. That would be really nice. The next question is, could you improve the duration of the tracking and guidance computers? 10 seconds is too short versus a cooldown of 60 seconds. So how about maybe 25 seconds? And the answer is maybe the next big balance update, but it doesn't have to be. So fair enough, fair enough. Definitely not a spy asks, are there any plans of more alliance-centric features like alliance hangars and bonus structures that benefits everyone in the alliance, not just individual corps? Or if not, are there any plans to increase the corp alliance player limits? The answer is there are some plans for corporations, not alliances. And Mario Penterman asks, when will we be able to harvest gas and ice in the future? Good question, I like it. I want to hear this answer, man. And the answer is possibly, but certainly not the first half year. And my man Virtual PG has a question. What's the manufacturing process going to look like for the new special ships? Similar to the manufacturing process we see with the faction carriers and freighters? Question mark. Oh, and very important, wormholes when? The answer is nothing to reveal yet. Eli Blackbeard. Are there any plans for an implant balance update? I think focus crystals are very overpowered. The answer is yes. HDS says there has been a players owned trading station in the database for a long time now. They would bring more reasons for alliances to fight each other like Keepstars in EVE Online. Will there be those anytime next year? The answer is there are currently no definite plans. Which is bad. That would have been a great thing. One Magic again, can we please reprocess all nanocores again? As I now have nanocores I'm not going to use and I can't trade them or make them useful. The answer is it won't be long. I'm all for it. Like if you can reprocess nanocores, that's fine. Just make it profitable. I'm not reprocessing any of my nanos I don't use for scrap, you know, that I don't use. Make it profitable. Skinny Fits is asking, do you plan on adding industrial implants? The answer is it's needed, but it's hard. At least a lot harder than mining implants. That's a weird answer. Like what? So like giving 5% more mining yield is not like giving 5% more laser damage? Come on, man. Don't be silly. And this is from Pain Gain. Will there be special modules to increase lightweight ships damage and speed like fighter control arrays or drone damage amplifiers? He also asks, and also hangar modification rigs with a chance of 1.59% in current value of one try will cost 300 billion. How can that be? He also say, will there be new general units for lightweight ships or will they use the fighter ones? The answer is according to the general market law, new things often comes as a premium. Because we didn't release some ISK supply boxes at the same time, the price was far higher than it should be. Maybe in the future we will update some ISK material supply boxes simultaneously. I'm not actually sure what they said and I don't actually understand anything of that, I'm sorry. But yeah, that was all. I think they gave us some interesting answers and honestly I think there is a lot interesting for us this year. The Jiang will fly anywhere and the Titans will run the nullsec. But market, insurance and industry will get a facelift. Some modification will certainly fix some parts of the game, while others will have us scratching our heads. I do feel it might be a good year for the new players as well as the old ones, and I like that I'm more hopeful than before. I hope you guys enjoyed this mouthful of information and also can see some good stuff with this. And I see you guys again.